I woke up with a fire in my soul, a vision burning bright, a goal to control. The road ahead ain't always clear, but I'm stepping forward, no room for fear. Each stair I climb, a lesson learned. From every fall, a lesson earned. The mind is a weapon, sharp and true. I'm forging ahead, there's nothing I can't do. Think and grow rich, that's the plan. With every step, I take a stand. Climbing the staircase of my dreams, fueled by the power of my schemes. Mind-focused heart on the rise. Achievement is the price I prize. Step by step I'm reaching high, tuning my mindset to touch the sky. The journey's tough, but I won't quit. I've got the drive, I've got the grit. Each level up, a new horizon, a world of possibilities in motion. I'm sharpening my thoughts, aligning my will, turning obstacles into hills I can climb still. The power of belief, it's on my side. With every breath I'm fortified. I'm not just dreaming, I'm in the fight, turning the night into the light. Think and grow rich, that's the plan. With every step, I take a stand. Climbing the staircase of my dreams, fueled by the power of my schemes. Mind-focused heart on the rise. Achievement is the price I prize. Step by step I'm reaching high, tuning my mindset to touch the sky.
Well, good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'm Leslie Flowers, and this is Think and Grow Rich: Principles, Leadership, and Laws. And today is a very special day. So watch what you're listening for, because I am taking you with me into the fifth dimension. You will quantum leap, and it will come to you in forms of realizations. Now, the first thing I want to do before I even welcome you all, because I'm so honored that you're here, I want to tell you a little story, and then I want to sing you a song. When I was 17 and a senior in high school, in one of my classes, there was a loud banging at the door to the classroom. And all the classrooms opened up into walkways that were covered for rain. And this was Northern California, so the weather was pretty temperate other than rain. And my mother was standing at the door of my classroom. This is unheard of. And she asked if I could step outside. And the teacher said yes. Leslie, as soon as I got outside, you've been accepted. I went, what? Yes, you have been accepted to San Francisco State University. Well, there were no words, because at that time, San Francisco State was the number 2 university or college in the United States for drama, second only to Carnegie Tech on the East Coast. So getting in to San Francisco State after I had spent 8 years in ballet and 3 years in high school doing repertory theater, this was a dream come true. It's my freshman year, and I try out for my first live comedy as part of the drama school, and I am excited. And the show is West Side Story. Now, you're going to wonder why I'm telling you this story, and you will see. Well, I tried out and I got called back. Now, for those of you who don't know what a callback is, it means you made the first cut. And so I was even more excited. I'm a freshman, and this is the best drama school, or the second best, and I'm going to get to sing on the stage and try out for the part of Anita. Right? I like to live in America. You know that show. And by the way, Napoleon Hill, since this is Think and Grow Rich, likely saw this on stage. He was an older man, but he likely could have seen West Side Story. So while staying in with the genre of Think and Grow Rich historically, it was an all-day callback. And they had one girl who kept reading for Anita. And they do a reading, and then all the people were in the audience that had been called back. One by one, everyone was called. I was not. I was 17. Every time they would stop and call someone, they kept using the same girl. Evidently, they were pleased with her. And I didn't have a voice. What I would do now is walk up to the director and say, by the way, my name should be on there. Will I have an opportunity? But I had so much faith, and I was so excited that I knew that I would be called, and the day wore on, and I was never called. At any time, in any moment, we can be being the person we wish to be. And so in that light, I'm doing something I never thought I would do. And I've had to practice this a couple of times. This is one of the hardest songs. It comes from West Side Story. And in today's world, this is the opening song. And it sets the tone for today's subject, which is faith. The belief and visualization that anything is possible. Okay, so bear with me. She says, as my phone times out. See how I do. Could be, who knows? There's something due any day. I will know right away, soon as it shows. It may come down and falling down from the sky, gleaming its eye, bright as a rose. Who knows? It's only just out of reach, down the block, on a beach, under a tree. I got a feeling there's a miracle due, gonna come true, coming to me. Could it be? Yes, it could. Something's coming, something good. If I can wait, something's coming. I don't know what it is, but it is gonna be great. With a click, with a shock, phone will jingle, door will knock. Open the lock, something's coming, don't know when, but it's soon. Catch the moon, one-handed catch, around the corner, or whistling down the river. Come on, deliver to me. Will it be? Yes, it will. Maybe just by holding still, it'll be there. Come on, something, come on in. Don't be shy, lead a guide, pull up a chair. The air is humming, and something great is coming. Who knows? It's only just out of reach, down the block, on the beach, maybe tonight. And now I have stepped in to an alternate reality, the dream that I had at 17. I just now experienced with all of you. This shows that those dreams that you have when you were younger can still come true. That what if there is only present right now? And what if all we had was awareness of our being present right now? In those moments, I was in a different presence, a different reality. And so this is the access to fifth dimension, simply said. And the intro and the words in the song and the outro were written the year before last when, or actually this past year, it was a gift to me, written by Aaron Gibson. Aaron and I spent months together in 2024 creating the video reels for my first fiction, The Possibility of Errata. And when we say we were there on Errata all summer, we were. It has to do with what you think and what you believe. And today's lesson is how to develop that faith in my ability to actually sing the song that I wanted to sing at 17. Well, actually, that's a male side, but it's the hardest song, one of the hardest songs in the show. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Let's see who is here. I'm so happy you're here. We've got lots to do. It's your turn. It's coming. And it has to do with developing faith in your ability and your deservability. And it's the only way through repetition or auto-suggestion that we know to build faith and self-worth. It's through repetition of positive thought. And there's always a fight between our negative thoughts, which are dominant, and our positive thoughts, which must be intentional. Through repetition, eventually, the positive thoughts, like the negative ones did, will embed themselves into the subconscious where they live like the truth, true or not, and your results always match what you believe. So what you believe is subconscious. It's not thinking. It's a knowing. It's perfect faith, such as faith in God. We have perfect faith in our fears. So if you want to come up on stage, I put the link in there if you'd like to generate the mantras with me. We may not do that because I have another mantra I want to share with you today. So let me say hello to Leigh Scheidel. Thank you so much for being over on YouTube and sharing the link and always being here. There's the wonderful Christy Williams. She is here so often, and a joy to see you all. Jackie Hallberg. You know, we are such a community. I'm telling you that this time you can choose to expect the unexpected, to reap the fruit of all your years of working and studying. It's time. Be looking for it. Be thinking about how wonderful it is. I had to sing that song 4 times before we went live because it's very fast and very hard to sing. But once I did it a few times, you see, I almost flawless, but not quite. So Stephen Ing, so glad you're here. I hope you're doing well, calling in from New York. And let's see here, Kimberly Lechnick, so glad you're here. I know you're a lover of Think and Grow Rich. And Lisa Fevik, thank you so much for being here, our registered dietitian and our menopause queen. Well, what I mean by that is that anything you want to know about it, Lisa's Tuesday afternoon shows at 5 p.m. Eastern every other week talk about what to eat to manage menopause, and then everything that has to do with menopause. So important for us as we get older. Sean Michael is here. Hello, Sean. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm so happy to see you. I hope you love today. There's Nicole. Hi, Nicole. So happy to see you, my friend. Terrence Stock. Haven't seen you in a lifetime, it seems. I don't know what brought you here, but maybe your dream is due to come true here today. And Stanley Green is here. Hello, Stanley. Stanley is President CEO of Power Thinking Corporation, who sponsors my Monday show and who is working with you every week, several times, for you to think more positively, however you do it, to intentionally think that way. And there's Mary Kay. She's a book coach. So excited to see you here, Mary Kay. And Coach Carrie Willis is here from Indiana. Hello, Lucille. You've read all of Napoleon Hill's books. Yes. And now reading and then move into study. So that's what I did. I picked one and I've been teaching it for 20,000 hours over 18 years. And every week I teach this, and this is how it is that I spend less time in the doldrums. It doesn't mean that I don't have doldrums, but in order to be metacognitive, it means that you're able to catch yourself, waste very little time reasoning with yourself, because reason is one of your mental muscles. So you're going to reason over your fear, but you have to catch it and you have to practice at it. As soon as you outweigh it with a positive thought, you shift your whole vibration. And remember, your results, your car, your relationships, your bank account, your weight, your health, your wellness matches what you believe you're capable of doing or deserving of. And with 6 basic fears that we absolutely have faith in, it's quite a challenge. But that's why I've been doing it all these years. And I just feel like I'm getting younger and younger and more vulnerable and more open to you. I've always wanted to be in West Side Story, and today I was. That is a quantum leap, and it's exhilarating. Yes, anything is possible, Coach Carrie. Okay, hello, Robert. So happy to have you here. Robert Arliss. I think you're a new acquaintance or new to this show. Thank you for being here. Jay Trivedi is here. Hi, Jay. And Omar M. Oh, Mr. Zoom Party's got some things coming up for you. There's Dr. Annie. Met her on Mondays when Catherine Chadwick was speaking. And by the way, Catherine will be on the 11 a.m. show Eastern Monday. She'll be talking about the work of Byron Katie. If you're interested, let's see. The Jedi Master is here. All right, we're going good. Linda Meyer is here. Hello, Linda. Let's see. Bobby Lee is here. Hi, Bobby Lee Clark. He's a coach around money. Very important. Americo DaCosta is here. Had a fabulous show last night. Americo, by the way, 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday nights. Really, really good. Lifting up other people to find their voice and hone down what they want to say so that it lands the way you want it to. All right, Kelly Steinke. Yay, I'm so glad you're back. Gosh, I haven't seen you in about a year, and I'm so glad you're back, Kelly. Hello, hello. All right. Now, feel free to invite anybody. We don't have a very busy day. Hey, Rob, day today for lives. Hi, Rob. And it is Friday, and it's May 1st. One thing is I personally am not buying anything other than lunch from a local company for my granddaughters if they're available. Today is the national boycott. So that's something. You don't buy anything. You, as best you can, save your money today and get to know each other. Okay, let's get going. I know, this is so exciting. All right. All right, add to the stage. There we go. We'll do this is better. Okay, here we go. The first thing I want to do, though, is I want to thank you, as you've seen on the scrolling, that Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing House, which I support and which supports this show. Nicole Angay Galindo sponsors us each week. Thank you for being here. She's done 8 to 10 anthologies where you could contribute and write your first story, right? If you've been wanting to do that and be published. Many of us here have done this. And she's got one that's up right now. She's doing one in a couple of months for men, money, and mindset. I don't remember. There's 3 words, right? So Nicole also has a full service for publishing. So, you know, if you need a book coach, if you need an editor, if you need an illustrator, if you need a marketer, whatever it is that you need, she has a team of people, the best of the best. So we're grateful to Nicole. You can reach her here on LinkedIn or at nick@gmail.com. Okay, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to bypass the 7 mantras. Okay, I wanted to share that story with you, but remember that you are going to pick one of those to work on. So what I'd love you to do when we get to the 7 mantra page, drop in which one of those mantras you actually worked on. And if you didn't, don't worry about it. Pick another one and watch for what happens when you start looking to be this way, to pick one of those ways of being and watch what happens to you. You begin to keep it top of mind. And we know now through repetition is how you're going to embed faith in your ability and deservability into your subconscious mind where it lives like the truth. It's not a thinking place. It's a reacting place. And most of the reactions from our subconscious are negative, which means our results are negative, right? So it's really about what you're thinking. Do it as much as you can. We'll look at Think and Grow Rich. We'll have a couple of lessons in faith, and we'll do a special meditation on self-confidence. And part of the self-confidence formula, which my clients would read every day for a week and watch what happens. It impresses this way of being into your subconscious. It's part of your character, your persona, your identity, your ego, how you see yourself. It's always growing. It's growing or disintegrating, and it's changing. And if you think that it's possible that awareness is outside of our body, that right now you're in the experience and presence of this event, but by using imagination and visualization, such as I did in the beginning, it moves you into the 5th dimension. That is where you have virtues, values, and love. And I was going to tell you that Aaron Gibson knows me well enough where he wrote the words. So working with me for 2 months, 3 months, 2 years ago, we got to know each other well enough where he was able to write the song for me, and it speaks to my soul. So there's a lot of things that we don't know. Let's see. Yes, of course, of course, of course. Ooh, Catherine Chadwick is here. I'm so glad. Oh, that's wonderful. She'll be here Monday. So thank you, everyone, for being here, and you are welcome. Let's move on. Lots to do, a little bit of time. All right, so these are the 7 mantras, if you remember. If we're not going to read them today, we're not going to generate them. Remember, anything that you use with auto-suggestion or self-suggestion, intentional thinking, talking to yourself. It is not just I am this, I am that. It is I am my word. I treat every agreement. What are you doing? You're generating it from your heart. And you know that those positive thoughts will put a spring in your step and yield results that are positive. It's all up to us. So which of these did you pick? Do you remember which one? Did you work on it? We'll get back to it next week, okay? All right. Okay, so these are your choices for what you would like for a goal. And we took a look at this, and you can look at this. I'll make this a little bigger. You can look at this as different iterations of presence. You can step into any one of these blocks and be that for a day or an hour or a week. In and out, in and out. When you go into one of these ways of being, that is, using imagination, visualizing yourself already in the luxury home, if that's what you want. You're already living there. We're not looking at your luxury home up on the cliff. You're inside walking around, and this allows you to get very excited because it's happening right now. That is one of your concurrent realities. The fifth dimension is a choice. It's an option. Consider. Or you see here, I love that ChatGPT put me in all the pictures. I didn't really want him to do that, but here's what's so interesting. I don't know if anybody noticed this, but over here in the family, we got a gray-haired dude, but over here with the new relationship, we got a dark-haired dude. So clearly ChatGPT and morals do not mix, right? Because I would never do that. Although I actually did a long time ago, but that's another whole story. So whatever it is, you must be being a person who does that. You can emulate, which is mirror their behaviors repeatedly. And it could be a new book. Well, I've done that. I've stepped into that. That's what Nick helps people do. Step into the iteration, the reality that you love. And Napoleon Hill in this chapter on faith talks about that love and sex are very important, whereas love is from the heart and faith. Sex is physical, and when these three are brought together, it's gangbusters. So think about Abraham Lincoln. Interestingly, Napoleon Hill says that he was 40 when he met Anne Rutledge and fell in love, and AI says he was 23, about 23. So what it tells me is AI doesn't know. There's a lot of that goes on. But the point is he was pretty much a loser. Abraham Lincoln was, by most terms, in the sense that he had no success to speak of until he met her and fell in love. And that was his first real love. And then look what happened. So the vibration when you are in love and you have faith in that love and you're having sex too, that's the highest form of vibration. So just something to note, of course. So let's move on. Let me see if you have any questions. Arcot, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Stanley is here. Okay, good. I'm so glad everybody is here. I hope you're liking this. Ask me questions. Hey, Catherine, double checking here. All right, I hope you're enjoying this. Ashif. Hi, Ashif. So glad that you're here. All right, Ashif is in Toronto and he is a sage. So these are your choices for what you want next. They're all accessible to you right now, just as those moments in the presence when I actually stepped into a world where I got to sing that song. When I was a little girl in the 50s, TV had just come out, and I used to stand on the toilet seat and use a hairbrush and broadcast the news and tell everybody, here's how you comb your hair, in the medicine chest, which was behind the toilet and had a mirror. So I wanted to be on TV, and here I am. It's all around us. We just were unclear about it. So really be thinking about these things. Just because we don't know yet how something works doesn't mean it's not working. All right, so for setting a goal, this is the process, whatever the goal is. And the goal will bring you into another reality that you want to be in. So let me turn this off for just a second. So here is how it works. You get the idea. Ideas are all out here in the ether. right? They're all here, and they flow from thought energy to physical form. That's step one. That's us. We get the idea, however we get it, right? Then we begin to picture a precise picture on the screen of your mind, which is about right here when you close your eyes, of what you want. That's your definite purpose. Then you're going to imagine it as though you already have it. So you're imagining it as a result. Whenever you think about it, you can have sticky notes around whatever. Then you begin to fall in love with it. You start seeing things that show up, and you get deeply, deeply in love. And how you're feeling is what you want to take a look at, because the higher the vibration and the better you feel, the more rapidly what you want will show up on your doorstep. By the way, you're not going anywhere. We never go anywhere. We're always right here. Things come to us. They really do. They show up, don't they? They show up. When you want a new car, you've been thinking about it for a long time. It's a brand new model. Nobody has it. The roads are empty. As soon as you get in one or you buy one, the whole world has that car, right? Top of mind. Then you take action in this vibration. And ultimately what will happen is you will realize the achievement. And so that is actually the transmutation of radiant energy, turning thought energy into physical matter. Now, keep in mind that if you give up on the goal, it goes right back into the ether. Someone else will get that idea. And that's where you'll say, hey, but wait a minute, that was my goal. Yeah, but you let it go. So let's move on, looking at the time here. Wait, oh, we're doing pretty good, actually. Okay, let me go here. So this is the roadmap for Think and Grow Rich. This is roughly a 12-week course. It also includes the 8 essentials of performance and achievement. When I added leadership and laws, you now have my full 8-week program that I ran for 18 years, 65 business quarters, where 500 12-week goals were achieved by my clients, following this process and the 12 laws of achievement. So we spent a couple of weeks understanding what is definite purpose. You are compelled to do it. Once you're clear on that and you know what you want, that's when you start to fall in love with it. And faith is built over time. So I use 12 weeks. And we're also going to bring in auto-suggestion, which is self-suggestion. This is how you build faith. It's either by default or on purpose. Our work here is on purpose, okay? Because our default stinks in most instances. It's negative because of repetition, because we're surrounded with negative things. Turn off your TV if it's a lot of negative news. Turn on something happy, because even if you're not paying attention, those things are allowed into your conscious mind and pass right through into the subconscious, where you have perfect faith in them. Argue with anybody about politics. They believe. You got two people that see the same thing and believe the exact opposite. Really? It's because of auto-suggestion. That's why. Let me just fix this to make this wide. Okay. Moving on. Any questions? Let me see. Today is when you start choosing you. You start attracting. That's right. And one of my quotes is, what you want is moving toward you at the same amplitude of vibration you're moving toward it. Now, you're not really moving toward it. What you're doing is processing thought energy through repetition within you. And this is one of the 7 universal laws. So we'll get into that a little bit next week. Thank you, Ashif. So true. And then we'll go on through the other principles. So faith is the only known antidote for fear. You know, you've got your higher side, your conscious mind, who can make yourself and choose to think positively. But the default is about 90 or 95% negative, not thinking, reacting based on things you've seen, you've thought about over and over again, fearful incidents that you had as a child. Every time you go to do that same thing, right? You actually use memory, which is one of your intellectual faculties, and retrieve the experience along with feeling lousy. And then it is these repetitive thoughts and the way you're feeling lousy, as my friend Catherine Chadwick says, it sets up the chemical cocktail in your brain to make changes. Faith is going to give you new positive neural pathways. Fear will simply more deeply embed the negative experience and have you even more fearful. And also, those thoughts change your physiology too, because brain is part of your physiology. But your thoughts will actually can make you feel better. You can think to yourself, all right, let me take a breath. I know that when I get heart palpitations, I know the breathing to do. Catherine taught me that. I even bought one of those little devices, right? So there is a way to reset your vagus nerve for anxiety, for a lot of medical conditions, to get everything back on kilter, if you will. But it starts with what you think, doesn't it? So you've got 6 basic fears that are fighting, right? And only faith, perfect faith in your ability and your deservability, is going to outweigh fear. So what do we think about the most? What are we afraid about the most? I mean, there are 6 fears here. Look at that. There's the fear of criticism. We've all been criticized. Poverty, fear of loss of a loved one, fear of illness. Remember COVID? These are all real things. Fear of old age and fear of death. So keep in mind that the work we do is we're using the structure that the universe, as co-creators, we have access to how to create faith in the universe, in God, in our ability, in our inherent deservability, which most of us have lost, but it's retrievable. It truly is retrievable. How is everybody doing? I'm looking for answers, questions here. Leslie said sex, I'm telling. Who are you going to tell? I did say sex, didn't I? Okay. Leslie always says sex. It's one of my favorite. Oh, I don't say it that much, do I? Sharon Rose is a guest teacher, so maybe in our private conversations, she's giving things away here. Anyway, there's not a lot. I actually want to do something on Substack. Sean Michael, I need you. I'm finally going to get over there and do something that I meant to do 25 years ago and was afraid to do. Yours truly was an undercover agent in the counterculture of local prostitution. A detective. And boy, did I find out stuff. All right, moving on. This works, the what you're thinking, positive or negative. And we went over this a couple of weeks ago. These are very, very wealthy men. In the story here we go. In Think and Grow Rich, most of them killed themselves. There's a story in the chapter on faith of a man during the stock market crash who booked himself in a hotel room. And when they, during the stock market crash, and when they found him, he was laying in bed screaming, "This is going to kill me. This is going to kill me. All my money is gone. This is going to kill me." And he died not too long after that. Those negative thoughts, when impressed into the subconscious mind is a cellular activity. So as soon as you think them, you're going to have a physical effect. Substack is phenomenal. I see Coach Carey. So look at these guys. Super successful, wealthy, and missing the happiness. You're in charge. You actually are. Keep doing this work. You'll be good. That's all you have to do. I've been doing it for 25 years, but 20 on mind. And it's made all the difference for me. Now, next Friday, we were doing really good on time. Let me go back one. Who wanted to come up on stage and generate the mantras? I put the link in there. Dropping in to say hello. Hey, Jeremy. All right, well, we'll move right on here. Keep in mind that at any given moment, you can choose to visualize what it is you want, whether it's for you. It should be in service because that'll have a nice positive snap to it. And it can be for your life. You're allowed to have money in service to others. This is your higher side. Next Friday, we're going to go into the principle of autosuggestion, and I'm going to share with you the 7 universal laws. So now you've got 13 principles of success. You'll have the 7 universal laws, and you have the 12 laws of achievement. I mean, you have all the checklists, and this is the foundation of clarity. That's for Coach Carrie. The confused mind doesn't take action. But once we get clear, we will take action. So these things will come to you one at a time, depending on when you're ready, right? As long as you keep learning, you're not going to get everything the first time. Let's see what Miss Chakra says here. Creativity and sexual energy both come from the solar plexus. Wait a minute. I thought the lower chakras were the sex part because it is physical. And we'll talk about that. But is there no distinction? So creativity, they come from this area, the solar plexus. Very interesting. Okay, I got to know the distinction there. Thank you so much. And Kimberly says it's important to be mindful of our word choice. Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to be on Leah Garcia's show in a couple of weeks, and we're going to talk about just that. I mean, think about the word sorry. Women use it all the time. To our defense, right, up until about 40 years ago, we were the nurturers. We fixed the boo-boos. So we said, I'm sorry a lot, but you'll notice that doesn't happen in business as much. Men will say, got it. Let me make that right for you. That won't happen again. I apologize. Thank you for your patience. And women generally say, I'm sorry. So you actually have to learn, to Kimberly's point, to pick another word that isn't a negative one. Think about the game, sorry. Sorry. So thank you for that. Let me see. Hi, Yolanda. So glad you're here. I don't know why I feel so good today. How are you all enjoying this? Let's see. How shiz that I was undercover. Yeah. That book, 25 years waiting. I just couldn't write it. Yes. The foundation of clarity is important. Well, look, we are having a hard time focusing as human beings. The sensory overload has us very distracted. Our level of concentration is poor. It's hard to focus. Yet we know in Think and Grow Rich, you have to have one definite purpose. You have to be able to focus on it and think about it, not every day, all day, but intentionally in spaced, consistent intervals over time. You don't set a goal and then come back 2 weeks later to work on it. It has to be done by auto-suggestion. Self-suggestion. What are you thinking about? Okay, so let's move on. Let me see what else I've got here. Okay, now we're going to do the meditation, and I am going to, this is the 5th covenant of the self-confidence formula. So everybody, this is your meditation. If you'll close your eyes, you can read along with me, but I'd like you to close your eyes and absorb this and picture yourself generating this, okay? As though it's yours. And this, there's 5 covenants in the self-confidence formula in the chapter on faith. Repeating this one, just like the 7 mantras, embeds more character, more virtues and values. So close your eyes, everybody. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And then exhale slowly through your mouth. Get comfy in your chair. Relax your shoulders and listen to my voice. This is the 5th covenant of the self-confidence formula. I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce them to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude toward others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. All right. Well, folks, let's see if you have any questions. I like this. If you're late, thank you for your patience. Yes, patience. It's a much different, right? It's much different. It is. And I am sorry is another one. Another one is, I just published my book. No, you spent years writing it. It was a challenge. You had to invest time, effort, and money in it. And you didn't just do it as though you just ran out the door. Just is very demeaning. I recommend removing that word completely. It diminishes the work that you've done. And another one is wish and hope. Those words are meaningless if you don't have action. They mean nothing. And I also want to remind you that prayer is also a very powerful way to couple with love to raise your vibration. You know, this was the perfect show for you today, William Rochelle. I was thinking about you the whole time. Honestly, I really would love for you to go back and simply listen to the song at the beginning. Okay, if you would only do that, because that story and that song is where we're all at right now. We're waiting. We know anything can happen in 3 days, right? How do you generate the faith in your ability and deservability to see it? And I'm so glad you're here, William. I really am. And William Rochelle has a Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Williams Wind Down live, 10 p.m. Eastern. If you just want to get out of your day and relax, it's wonderful. And then on 1 o'clock on Thursdays and 4 o'clock on Sundays, live Eastern, UBU Live is his Words Without Action Are Hollow. That's right. So just repeating, I am wealthy, I am beautiful, I am thin, I've lost this weight, right? It's more like, thank you. I am so grateful to be alive. Gratitude is another one that raises your vibration, and Kimberly talks about that a lot. And he says he will. All right, well, we are at 11:50. Let me tell you what's coming up next week. I hope you've enjoyed today. It's been a little different, and that was done intentionally. So let me take this off. And I so appreciate all of you right? I took you on the journey with me into another dimension. You get that? Who's excited about the fifth dimension? Can you see that we're always in present and that it's possible to emulate and step into the thinking through imagination and visualization of another iteration of ourselves in any given moment? So if it's money that you want, more clients, if it's a book that you want, you've got to think like the person who's already done it, who is grateful and joyful in advance, because that is what Mary Morrissey calls five sensorizing. When you visualize as though you already have it, you're using your five senses to spark, right, and ignite your vibration. The amplitude of vibration of every cell is based on what you are saying. So Monday, we have Catherine Chadwick, Mind Over Matter Mondays. We start at 10:45 a.m. Bring Catherine on at 11, and she will be talking about the works of Byron Katie. So every Monday at 11 a.m., you can open your week with Mind Over Matter Mondays, and every Friday, deep study, deeper concepts, Think and Grow Rich, and the practical application of all the concepts we're all teaching so that you can experience the joy and the gratitude of your own growth. Actually, I'm going to tell you one more little story if you'll just hang out with me, because we do have a couple of minutes. The nicest thing happened to me today. Thank you, Ashif. So I used to do a lot of live goal setting workshops. I do one a year, but I used to do them like en masse. Nobody knew this stuff. This was like 12, 14 years ago. And so they were live at the time in person. And there was one of my big goal setting workshops, which I had several times a year. There was a young lawyer named Laura in there. And her intention and her dream was to have a legal business that was thriving. And she was all by herself and just started out. Now, I've watched her over the years because she lives in my community. Although we haven't spoken, we've touched base a little bit. And I just saw that she won a big award. She's hired people. Her business is flourishing. And I dropped a comment and I said, it's been a joy watching you grow and all the things since we met that you've accomplished. And she responded and said, you know, I still carry that little piece of paper and did for years in my wallet. Thank you for inspiring me. And that was the goal card, right? Those were the 6 definite practical actions. And she had come into the workshop to develop a business plan. That was her goal, right? She felt she needed a business plan to expand her business. And when we were finished and we checked in on everybody's intention, she said, I don't need a business plan. I've got it all right here. And her husband, who was also in the legal profession, used to come every year, right? Because he would set new goals and look at all the things that he had forgotten he said he would do that he did. So set and thrive. So we're at 11:54, and I hope you'll join us next week. I hope you've enjoyed this, and sit back and enjoy the work of Aaron Gibson and Soul Media Live Productions. He's one who knows how to get into the fifth dimension very quickly. And well, he is, after all, the soul man. And there should be a show tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern live. It starts 15 minutes early with some really rockin' music and videos. So that's how Friday nights go. And with that, I will wish you all well. Oh, let me see. Yeah, let me see what. I'm careful with the use of the word just. Right. In casual conversation, it's fine. But in professional business context, you have to be careful. Exactly. Now, you probably, today may be the only day or the first day you've heard about this word just. That's a reason enough to be here. Wouldn't you say so, Stephen? Good morning, Russ Hedge. How are you? So happy to see you. I know that you are a busy guy and have lots of things going on. Let me see what Lay says here. Hold on a second, Lay. I'm excited about the fifth dimension. Yes, you spend a lot of time there. I think that's where children go with their imagination and visualization. Look, it's just the distinction of what's happening that is empowering for us. And as I said, because you don't know yet how something works, doesn't mean it's not working. There's plenty of empirical evidence about miracles. Those are all based on faith and self-suggestion through repetition. And when you pray, you don't pray, well, God, I'd really like to have this, and could you help someone over here? No. Most people wait until they're down and out to pray, and that is the mistake. Until everything terrible has happened, or a lot of people do, not most people. And then they start praying and expect it to work. No. Prayer is self-suggestion also. We are co-creators. I believe that God in the universe is within us in our conscious mind. That is the whisper of intuition. That is how we co-create. And that is our connection. That's our higher side. But remember, we're in a battle with the devil and the negative side. Who will win? It's all on us. What are we thinking most about? How are we feeling when we're thinking it? And with that, my friends, enjoy the outro by the wonderful Erin Gibson. Thank you again to Nicole Ongai-Galindo and Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing House. If you've ever wanted to write a book or start with contributing to one, reach out to Nick. She always seems to have an anthology open to make that dream come true. Once you're a best-selling author, you're always one. You can always step into that world of being a best-selling author. Rather than a dream, step into it. All right, everybody. See you. Have a great weekend, and see you first of the week.
I woke up with fire in my soul, a vision burning bright, a goal to control. The road ahead ain't always clear, but I'm stepping forward, no room for fear. Each stair I climb, a lesson learned. From every fall, a lesson earned. The mind is a weapon, sharp and true. I'm forging ahead, there's nothing I can't do. Think and grow rich, that's the plan. With every step, I take a stand. Climbing the staircase of my dreams, fueled by the power of my schemes. Mind-focused heart on the rise. Achievement is the price I prize. Step by step I'm reaching high, tuning my mindset to touch the sky. The journey's tough, but I won't quit. I've got the drive, I've got the grit. Each level up, a new horizon, a world of possibilities in motion. I'm sharpening my thoughts, aligning my will, turning obstacles into a hills I can climb. Still the power of belief, it's on my side. With every breath I'm fortified, I'm not just dreaming, I'm in the fight.